recording started.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 5:49 p.m.
All right, for attendance, we have Chair Martin Gilmore.
Here.
Vice Chair Kyle Conrad. Here. Luisa Alvarez is absent. Ryan Kelly.
Here.
Erica Crystal. Here. Jenny Lynch. Here. Council Member Chelsea Noonan-Camp. Present. For city staff, Communications Director Chris Harguth, who I believe is not joining us online, so he is absent. Marketing Manager Vanessa Davis. Present. Web and Digital Content Strategist Lucia Magnuson. Present. And me, Andrea Moeller, Visual Communications Specialist.
Great. See, we did this out of order written here, but that's the usual order. We'll go on to the approval of the minutes.
I can motion to approve the minutes.
No, Erica has a correction.
Can I spell my name correctly, please?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yes, we will make sure that that is corrected.
Appreciate it. It's under 10 as well.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the correction.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, let's go on. No public comment tonight. Okay. To new business. The circle conversation with Courtney Cotton. 10 minutes.
All right. I've got that.
Thank you for having me this evening. I mixed things up a little bit, so you are my beta test here. I'm an artist I'm a professional artist. I have 28 years experience in the world of fine art, architecture and design, and some nonprofit work. I also am a mentor and collaborator in the creative community, and because of my background in architecture and design, I bring a unique skill set with some business acumen and artistic creativity to each endeavor. So why am I here? Because of my background and varied experiences, they've helped me garner the courage and clarity to step into the world of the public art and expand my impact on society and my impact as an artist. Public art has meaning. It has the ability to impact people and community. It invites reflection and it humanizes the built environment. I'd like to use the public art platform to convey some relevant themes that I work with in my art. So the most prominent themes in my work include mental health, well-being, transformation, vulnerability, resilience, and also the dynamics of perception and perspective. My inaugural project, Circle Conversation, intends to promote awareness and conversation surrounding mental health and well-being via art, science, and technology. Let's hope the slides work. So slide number 1 is Crisis on top of a Jackson Pollock chaotic painting. I feel presently our society is in crisis. The depression, division, loneliness, addiction, and despair rates are higher than they've ever been. I feel our children are in crisis, alienated, disconnected from community, and sadly, a lot of people have died by suicide and overdose. I think we can transform in oneness. When one of us heals, we heal ourselves, we heal the whole. We're like an intricate system of aspen trees. And I was awarded a career advancement grant from Colorado Creative Industries, and instead of buying a new piece of equipment for my studio or a printer, I decided to take that grant money and meld my personal life and experiences with mental health and my art to develop this concept. Here's a 3D animation. I took the money and had renderings made. This sculpture doesn't exist. I had renderings made and the 2D drawing so I can come to cultural arts commissions, developers, the private sector, and show my vision. Here's a rendering of the sculpture. I'm aiming high in Wash Park. I went and took photos of Wash Park on the pathway near the lily pond. I think it's the kids' fishing pond near the fire station. And you'll see it's a contemporary, simplistic design with 3 circles. The 3 represents the mind, body, spirit connection. And I feel the clean and contemporary design also utilizes a universal symbol, the circle. So the circle represents many things in many cultures. Self, totality, wholeness, the infinite, eternity, timelessness. It conveys cyclic motion. I would love for it to be installed on the grass. However, being in architecture and design, I know art goes through many processes and committees. It may not be there. I love the cyclic motion on the ground. There's a concrete base under that, and I have engineering drawings that I used the grant money to create, so it's safe. And I like the idea of transformation. We can transform ourselves, and energy can neither be created or destroyed, only transformed. So the interactivity and community engagement portion of the sculpture will be via a wayfinding stanchion or a sign. So I personally don't take my phone when I'm taking a walk in the park. I like the digital detox. So there'll be a branding on the sign. Whoever pays for it will get recognition. If it's a group effort of Inglewood and Colorado Creative Industries and Coca-Cola, they'll be on the sign. I'll have a prompt or a tool on the sign where viewers can work amongst the circles and maybe do a gratitude or some breathing exercises. And for those people who do have their phones, they can access a platform where they can share their story, either privately or publicly. There's a lot of catharsis in writing. They can also access prompts and tools to relieve stress and anxiety. And these prompts and tools will be for adults and children. And also they will have access to the many brilliant mental health websites that already exist. I don't want to recreate the wheel. A lot of grants like various entities to partner together as well. So the science comes in because there's a whole new thought process about art. The science of art is now called neuroarts. And that was started in 2019 by Johns Hopkins University and the Aspen Art Institute. And it is the concept that aesthetic experiences affect the brain, the body, behavior, and that knowledge can provide health, learning, and emotional well-being. Here's a picture of 2 participants. We've got Anna on the bench writing her story, sharing her story of her son's bipolar disorder diagnosis and how she's managing. And then we have Arthur. He's doing some breathing techniques because he's had a hard time with his 19-year-old son. That's how I visualize the community activation. Now this is a joint effort. It won't just be me. It would be, I have knowledge of project management and collaborative experience. I work effectively with project teams, art administrators, landscape architects. But it would be myself, the Inglewood Cultural Art Commission. I've been working with Breton Lujan. He is with Raw Creative here in Denver. He is a fabricator. If the budget allows, there's a brilliant conservator, Lucinda Linderman. She's with Pacific Coast Conservation. I have a brilliant PR person, I can document the process, and I think it would be wise to involve Colorado Business Committee for the Arts or Colorado Creative Industries. They're invaluable and they have a lot of free services. For instance, I get free legal as an artist, not all free, but really reduced costs. So I like to bring that up. So I would welcome an opportunity to collaborate with Inglewood and make a visual landmark that would be incredible, meaningful. It's true to my heart here. I founded Blue Tile Art Space and Gallery here. I bought a home here. I created a public art piece with the Chameleon Art Collective. And I even now have gallery representation at Seesaw Art Gallery in town. So I'd love to open up to any questions you might have about the project. And if you don't have a specific need right now, keep me on your radar, or perhaps I can participate in something else.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Courtney. So Courtney, how much, so it sounds like a grant is covering part of this, but how much is the grant covering?
The first grant covered the initial part.
Okay.
I have applied for various grants. I've had a lot of rejections. So the most recent grant that I've been using is the BIA Art Fund. And what you have to use that grant is you have to have a dedicated space, someone that has land and space. And then they will give some money. Like I have to have some skin in the game. I think the entity put some money up. There's various grants.
Okay.
Currently, the budget is it's called the ROM, the rough order of materials, which we use in the early life cycle to determine things. I've got this at $75,000. So it would be made of steel plate, and then they put a patina finish on it, and then they coat that. The coating will last for 10 years. The steel plate will last for 100 years. If I had a huge budget, if I had an impact investor or a hero donor, I would make it out of foundry bronze. So that would make the price $150,000. I don't think certain cities don't have that.
And then with us, so would the partnership be more, if we were to partner with you, would it be more a space request or would you need more of a funding request? Like how would you see our partnership?
I'd like to have funding and space.
Okay.
You're looking for it to be in a place where people can engage with it in this way, correct?
My dream would be that. Also Inglewood High School. I feel like that's a rough time. Schools.
You're looking for a place where people can walk around it.
Mm-hmm.
So like potentially a high.
They're 8 foot. They're 8 foot diameter circles.
Okay.
So I interrupted you potentially.
No, so like kind of building on Martin. So like a high, like a park that gets walked on a lot, or creating like a sculpture park, or I don't know. We've been floating lots of different ideas in this commission. So
I know. I feel like there's a lot on Broadway already, don't you? So I don't really visualize it on Broadway.
So more of like a park. Or the river trails. Is that anywhere you've visualized?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't have that much of an ego. I would entertain where you could put it.
Okay.
This would be
It seems like your vision with the bench and all that.
Dream World. Well, that bench is actually already there.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing what they can do with the AutoCAD.
And with some of these grants you were speaking to, what percentage would they cover on this type of thing? So like for you to have skin in the game, like what would a contribution from us as a city versus their contribution?
My last one, well, I did a small contribution, $7,000. I asked for a lot. I asked for $90,000.
Okay, and you contributed $7,000.
I did.
Okay.
And that was for Greenville Technical College in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
So I don't know what your budget has. Another option is to do one ring. It could be as impactful.
Okay. It's really cool. Such a neat piece.
I think it's a way to touch new audiences. I don't think a lot of people know they pay their tax money that goes to public art, and I don't even think they know. I mean, a lot of us do know what public art is.
Yeah.
But the technology component takes it to a second level.
Do you all have some questions at all or curiosities?
I just want to say thank you, and this is awesome. I love it. So I don't know if we said that out loud yet. So first of all, I know it's hard to do any kind of presentation, especially an art piece, which is such a big piece of us. So I think it's awesome. I love interactive art, which I think this in a lot of ways is, even though it's not moving, like people are interacting with it the way you described.
Well, and we could do a lot with it. The ballet could work. The kids in schools have amazing tech departments. You can do, project on it.
Yeah.
You could do something in the evening. Maybe they need to do, maybe someone died by suicide in their grade. They could do a ceremony for that person and do some projection. People could read poetry. It has a lot of options. I don't want it just to sit there. I want it to be more utilized.
I can't imagine.
And because I'm young, because I'm 57 years young, I can make sure that happens.
Yeah. You mentioned your last piece, the South Carolina Greenville College.
I've tried to get it.
Okay, so is that piece made? And
No,
installed?
nothing. I feel when I get the first installation done, it's going to be a domino effect. I'm not going to lie, it's been very challenging. I'm up against artists that have coffee table books, that went to Yale. I'm going to stick with it. I think I have a story. I think when I tell the story to various people and even coaches who've helped me, it seems everyone has a story. And men, grown men open up and start crying. I'm like, this is so touching. I struggled, I attempted, or I lost my brother-in-law. It seems like it's tough. And think about the homeless population. I have a schizophrenic brother, and he has meds, and he had a family that kept him in the game. And a lot of people don't have that. And they're part of our circle, whether they annoy us or not. Running Blue Tile, I had a direct line to the Inglewood Police Department because we'd sometimes have people just pass out in the parking lot all day. So it's been a tremendous growth opportunity, and I think I'm going to get the first one installed.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
The reason I was asking about that last piece was just because I was curious about what happened when it was installed and the interaction or that story. So it wasn't. It would have been brilliant because it was a community college and then a high school. And then it was on a road with 80,000 commuters every day. So keep trying. Something will come about. But I think.
Yeah, it's a valid question. I need these renderings to talk about the story, but it doesn't, it's not a photograph. It's a rendering by a brilliant CAD person.
Can I ask one more question? So if we were to do, if one ring was to come to life, would that be 25,000 then, potentially partnered with a grant?
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, let's just divide it by thirds.
Thirds?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a reasonable estimate?
Yeah, and I can give you a project worksheet that shows you.
Yeah, actually, do you mind sending that so we can all kind of view it? Because
I do a rings concrete install price, then I do an insurance, admin, PR, website piece.
It'd just be good as we have further discussions for us to have the budget and kind of what you've been looking at. And then I think what would also be helpful is if you can provide some of those grant matches that you would look at, so we could look at what that process would be. So just keep you in the loop of all my admin. Yeah.
And I have one other idea. There is a brilliant foundry in Inglewood, Joseph's Artwork, and I could ask what they'd be willing, and then it could be foundry bronze. I could ask what they would be willing to contribute.
I mean, as you know, the Cultural Arts Commission, we really love supporting Inglewood and Made in Inglewood.
I mean, maybe he could, donate part of the process, like the finishing process or something, anything. So that's an option too. Perfect. Well, I'll get the financials, more of a spreadsheet together so you can put it in my file.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just anything.
And as grants come up, I could say, hey, I have this community that's
If you
willing
see
to
a-
partner.
If you see a match, I think that helps to see, because obviously like the Cultural Arts Commission, we run on a very, small budget. But I think the more we have in place, if we could find those matches that makes the possibility far
Yeah,
higher.
organization. Yeah, the devil's in the details type thing.
Speaking of details, maybe it's in the presentation already, but what, once you get the go-ahead to do something like this, how long will it take to make it?
Depending on the fabricator, I would say 6 to 9 months.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
If you think of anything else, I guess you can distribute them at the next meeting. I sent these cute little trifold brochures ahead of time, with, the USPS.
Well, thank you so much for being here and being so vulnerable and sharing your art with us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Figure out how to flyer this down.
All
And
right.
if you want, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or you can head
I'm gonna take off.
out. Okay.
But I will let Blue Tile, my successor, know. Do you want artists to be on the board, or who are you looking?
Yes, of
Actually,
course.
we're gonna be there on Saturday. Erica's joining Blue Tile to do a meet and greet, because we actually want artists we always love when artists apply to our commission who live in Inglewood,
Right.
one thing. And we also love having artist ideas, because you all bring brilliance to our city, so.
Well, I'll tell Timmy, or I can just blast it that way.
Yeah, we've
But
been
you're
in
looking.
contact with her, so she knows we're coming, but.
And then there's Tina Szynski,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I could send a note to her.
Yeah.
What is it called again? Tejon Street? I think she calls it Tejon Street.
Yeah,
Artists.
she's right over here.
Let her know that there's some availability,
Yeah, always.
spots available. Okay, I'll be glad to do that.
Thank you, Courtney.
Cool, thanks so much.
Here, I'll leave a couple cards. Just in case.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the art maintenance walk logistics.
Yes, so we mentioned last meeting that we want to do some art maintenance and just identify our art pieces and just see what condition they're in. We have 35 art pieces right now in the city. If we divide that by 7, which now we have 6?
Yes.
6. That is 5 pieces with 7 I can take on a roll. With that, for logistics on how we want to execute this, I can set up a sign-up Genius, and we can just put, you just write whichever ones you want to take a look at, and just sign up for those, and then I'll have a survey, either survey, or we can just do general questions that you submit, and then we'll have a little catalog of what we need to do.
We might have that already, because Leah Moran created a spreadsheet, and so we might have that in the Google Drive.
Yeah, we have that, and it's from 2018, I'm pretty sure.
It probably doesn't have the wraps is the problem.
It wasn't, was it recently?
Yeah, there's one more recent than that.
Oh.
But I think the one she did didn't have the wraps, though.
It did not have
they're
the
all
wraps.
listed
That's-
here, so we could just add them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not have the wraps.
I'll make sure I have that in there.
Okay,
Could we just put our names by it instead of doing a sign-up Genius?
Yeah,
So just
'cause we-
in the spreadsheet?
We could just do, because you guys have a Google Drive, I can send over my spreadsheet, just transfer it to a Google Drive.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and then add in whatever in there.
The 35 pieces, does that include the wraps?
Yes, it does include the wraps. And then the potted flowers North Broadway
Yeah.
are ours. I'm pretty sure. I'm still trying to get confirmation on that. But Hillary is doing the 3400 block flowers, but that was brought to my attention. That wasn't on the initial list
Yeah,
from
those-
what I saw, so I didn't know.
as I recall, those were transferred to a different part of the city
Okay,
many years ago.
okay, sounds good.
We can review the stuff. I have to think of what year that was.
So I can take on those flowers. With that also, Hillary has mentioned that she's going to be taking out the flowers on the 3400 block. and she wanted to know if we wanted to use them in another part of the city or maybe transfer them down to South Broadway corridor. So that's another option for that. But I can handle the North Broadway flowers while we're figuring everything out.
Is she replacing them with something else?
It's part of her public realm plan, but I'm not entirely sure what she's doing with them yet. Like with replacing the flowers, yeah.
The renderings have like a lot of planters and benches and new trees, and that's like in the long-term plan. I'm not sure what the sequencing is, but there will be a lot of other activations.
Yeah.
I feel like at one point we had talked about maybe taking the flowers and creating a larger display or something of them somewhere else, just so that they're all kind of in one place. And I'd be interested in seeing that happen.
Yeah.
So that it feels a little bit more intentional and like we're not losing them because I love them, honestly.
I know.
They're really cool. And they bring color, so I don't know what kind of conversation we can have about that, but that'd be nice.
Yeah, and that's where I can also talk to Sean Doherty and just see what he's thinking also. See if there's any inspiration from him. Yeah, he's the artist, yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's still doing art pieces.
Yeah, he's helped us with a lot of wayfinding signs with Chris. So he's still.
Yeah, I'd be curious what his vision might be first, just since he's the original creator and there's so much of his artwork around town. I think it's really important to get his input.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make a spreadsheet, make sure we have everything in there. I'll double check with that, the newer spreadsheet. I swear the oldest one the only one I saw was from 2018.
I wonder if it made it into the drive. I'll look and see.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want to make your notes in that spreadsheet so it's all in one place? Or do you want to have it like a separate survey where you're like submitting photos?
I think pictures are tough in spreadsheets, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
They are, that's what I'm like.
I was thinking as I've been kind of driving around town, every wrap I've seen graffiti on so far. I haven't seen any that aren't. So I'm thinking we're gonna need pictures for all that to help Public Works.
Yeah.
So we might need to go one piece at a time, and I don't know if it's even helpful to just email you directly, be like, here's the piece, here's the pictures, or if that's gonna be too much for you, or if it's.
Well, I was thinking if I can set you guys up with like a QR code that you take with you and it'll take you directly to a survey that then you just like take pictures on your phone and it'll upload.
That's great, maybe that's the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I just think a bunch of them are gonna require, at least for the wraps, it looks like they're all gonna require full camera.
Like a Google Drive upload too, potentially.
Yeah.
That just goes directly to the Google Drive.
Yeah.
Might work too.
Google Form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like, so it's all integrated.
Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
might work.
Whatever makes it easiest for the person compiling it.
I know,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay,
So the photos don't come through. It's like,
I know.
Do you know
Okay.
anything about the people that are graffiti? Like, are they putting more art on top of it, or are they putting their names on it? Who are they and why?
I don't
I'm
know
not sure we know.
anything.
It looks like a wide variety
Yeah.
as I drive around town, and most of them are very small. It's interesting. Some of them look like names and some of them look like scribbles, and they're not big, but they seem to be at the top of a lot of our boxes, especially if you go around the King Supers, like all those boxes, like little, and our Broadway ones have all been tagged with something, you know?
I just saw one on Brian Hart's mural.
oh.
I know. Yeah, I just saw, it's like in the frame and it's really small on the bottom.
But I feel good because most of them are vinyl. They should be pretty easy to clean, so that was one of the reasons.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's.
And all of our
So they-
murals have anti-graffiti coating on them, so
Yeah.
hopefully they're easy to take off. Okay, sounds good. I'll make sure that we have everything in a Google Drive and I'll put together, I can do a form on our Gmail, or if anyone wants to take the initiative to build a form on the CAC's Google
I think it
Drive.
might be easier through you all since it's going
Okay.
to Public Works, to be honest. Like, I think it's whatever's easiest for you for that communication piece is what we should do versus us trying to do something and then you having to change it to get.
That makes sense?
Okay.
Okay, beautiful. That's all I have for logistics.
Cool. Moving on. We're gonna move the old business that's listed on the agenda, Mural Guidelines Pricing Policy. and the visioning survey to next month's meeting because Luisa had family emergency stuff going on, so we're gonna move that to September. That's okay with everyone? Okay. Moving on to upcoming events, I don't see anything listed, but does anybody have upcoming events?
Are we doing anything in the block party?
Yes, we are.
And the sign up genius was sent out, so hopefully everyone
Yes.
had a chance to sign up because we'll have stuff, all sorts of fun going on.
Yes, and I'll send that out again.
Well, I can't be, I'll be at a different booth, so I won't be able to be there, but I just wanted to make sure we're good.
Yeah, and we have the poets, we have 2 poets, they'll be for 2 hours each, so they'll switch off. And then I'll be there as well.
I think we're mostly running the button making, right? Like that's gonna be our.
Yeah, and I requested like another table, so it's not just on one table. But I'll verify with Tony with that too. So that way we have something on the side.
Who sent the sign-up genius for the block party?
I did. So from Lucia Magnuson. There should have been an email, and hopefully you guys all got it with all the links.
Yeah, it had 3 links and
Yeah.
The sign up, it had a couple.
I'll be right back. I need to go get a file really quick. You guys continue to speak. My internet was working.
Can somebody remind me what we're doing? Because I know we're having poets there, but was there some sort of like Inglewood submitting poems?
Yeah, Inglewood residents are gonna participate with the poet to create a poem for Inglewood.
Not prior,
What?
at the actual.
At the actual.
Oh, okay. For some
And
reason,
then
I thought we were submitting things before.
Well, I think our goal is to submit it to the library to be posted
Afterward.
after.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. We also have, for upcoming events, we also have the South Broadway revitalization events. We have the walking tour on Tuesday, so I'll be at a booth. Just saying hi to everyone. If anyone wants to come join me, you can. And then there will also be a booth at the block party as well for the South Broadway revitalization.
Great. Any other events, comments? On to staff's choice, traffic cabinet wraps update.
Traffic cabinet wraps. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. So I built out the webpage for the traffic cabinet wraps. Additions that I have, and I don't know if we want to continue with the theme color palette, but I have a template that we got from Harmonic. Yes, so I have it as an image and then they can download the PDF also to attach that. I also have application requirements, full color image. I have optional, apply the artwork to the provided cabinet template so the committee can see the ideal orientation for artwork on the cabinet. I added that in. And then I also added the locations. So I have a Google My Maps with all of the available locations of the traffic cabinet wraps so they can see what we have available.
Love it.
And then I just added, if you have a specific location in mind for your artwork, then please add that information to your submission. So that will be on the application. And if we're good with this, we can have it go out as soon as next week. I ideally want to give people a month so we can do it where it's a month and a little bit more. So then we're at the October meeting for cabinet wraps, and maybe it won't be as hot
Yeah.
to put wraps on at that point. So that's the timeline right now. It got a little bit adjusted.
I think that's fine. I think shoot for the October meeting.
That's fine.
That's good.
That's great.
And then what are the thoughts on an artist that already has a wrap? Are we trying to make sure that?
It's more equitable. That's something that you can make the decision on once we get all the submissions in. Yeah.
I think in the past, we've kind of tried to opt for new
Yeah, sure.
artists. But I mean, if our only people who are
If we're-
submitting are
yeah.
the same people, then I don't know what we'll do to about
I'm
that.
just curious to see the turnout, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know how many you guys usually get that are applying.
It's usually like 20, 25.
Oh, okay.
And we
So
have
it's
had
not-
people submit, I think, we've had one artist submit 4 or 5 different submissions.
Okay,
And so then we've also had that where we're like, we want one of these we want one of this artist, but let's only do one.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think we've ever actually done 2, right? We've always
Okay.
never done one for that artist.
Not that we
Remember.
knew of.
Yeah.
It's possible that one of the collectives that submitted had somebody who is, because I remember when we were doing the thing at One Barrel, somebody mentioned, oh, now I have 2
Okay.
runner-ups, but it was like they submitted under the Chameleon or whatever.
Yeah, the collective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't personally feel offended by that. I just think that that's something to be aware of too.
Yeah.
All the same.
And then with the colors, what are we landing on with the colors up there?
Did we send the colors out last time?
Yes, yeah, we did. And we don't really get submissions with the colors besides Timmy Bierman with the Let's Go to School. She utilized that, but we don't get many with the uniquely colors.
Yeah, I was just curious. I just wanted to read how it was.
Yeah, I just
Asking
said
to do that.
artists are encouraged encouraged to use the provided color palette. They're also free to explore additional colors that reflect the essence of Inglewood. Palette serves as a guide to maintain a cohesive look while allowing room for personal creativity.
It's fine.
Okay,
Awesome. That's
sounds
great.
good. We'll send it out next week.
Cool.
Oh, I'm so glad there's a template. That's so awesome.
I know. Yeah, Harmonic is the one who made the template for us. That's why it took a little bit longer, because I was waiting on that file.
Happy to send them a thank you letter if we need to.
Yeah. Perfect.
Great. Moving on to the placement of sculptures.
Yes, okay, sculptures update for Rainbow Point. Debbie has been reaching out to the artist. She's just trying to find a time for her to install Rainbow Point, and the artist is a little busy right now. And then for Lunar Hampton, the artist really wants to get paid. So we're talking to the Parks Department because the option is we pay for the piece and then we install it, the Parks Department installs it. So we're checking with the Parks Department to make sure that they're okay with that. He says it's a pretty easy installation, so I'm just trying to gauge the level of work with that. But he does want it out of his studio. So we're still in talks about that. And then I'm in communications with Victor about filling that pad, and it's gonna take a little bit longer than what I originally thought it was going to.
Which pad where?
The filling in where the tree was taken out, the left pad with the light.
Oh.
Yeah, it was last meeting.
Okay. I
Oh,
missed
yeah,
that.
sorry.
That's okay. Wherever it is.
It's right outside in the
Okay.
city center.
Okay.
Yeah, so things are moving, but not as fast as I would hope they were.
Did we already decide that we were gonna move it there? Is that? Did we vote to move it
Yeah.
there? Great.
And then we can move it to any location after that point. Because it'll be ours.
Get it somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
Great. Wayfinding and placemaking, Chris is gone. Oh, he's there.
Oh, he's
Okay.
there, he's there.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Chris Hargett, Communications Director. Sorry, I was running a little bit late.
That's okay.
Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yes.
Does that work technically? Okay. Okay, let me know when you can all see this.
You can see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is what we've pivoted to after being denied permission for the bridges. So this is at Dartmouth and Inca, a large gateway sculpture that has elements from the wayfinding and placemaking master plan. Looks very similar to the existing primary gateways. Pay no attention to this puppy here. He's there for placement only. But we were talking with, so this is right, if you're not familiar, this is right, this is Cushing Park back here. And as part of the Cushing improvements, they are adding a dog park to the west. So we thought it might be a fun element if we added, I don't know, some sort of artwork that looks like a dog. So we're working on that, but we are close to awarding a contract for this to a local Inglewood company, which is great. So I should have a more robust update at the September meeting where we should have a signed contract and this should be under construction. Any questions for me?
You said the dog is just replacement and that part of it isn't figured out yet, is that right?
That's right. I think it's going to be with marketing. Vanessa's team has been working on some concepts. It's probably going to be a dog without a lot of detail to it, just kind of a silhouette. Again, we'll have the dog park is going to be very, very close by, just to the west of this location. Any other questions?
Is it gonna be the metal like the other ones, or will it be white?
Oh, the lettering?
Yeah, is it gonna match the metal? Because isn't it all the other ones have like that metal finish?
Yeah, so that's something we'll play with in the final designs. I want to make sure whatever we put there, because it's kind of away from Dartmouth, we want to make sure it has the most visibility. Okay. But we're going to play around with colors. Now the ribbons that you see are going to be that color. I think what I'd like to see are some concepts. This green here, are you able to see my cursor?
Yeah.
Okay, so this green here, I'd like to see this mocked up in the same color that you see, kind of that that bronze looking color that you see on the primary gateways.
Chris, so we can grasp the scale. How tall are the ribbons?
So the ribbons are about 18 feet tall. So it's a large sculpture.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
So right now they're looking at, from an engineering perspective, wind loads and things like that, which so far they really haven't determined that they feel like there's going to be any issues with it. But I'm working with the Public Works Department, so.
We were just talking about graffiti. What's our plan for keeping this clean, and will we be putting the coating on it?
There will be some sort of anti-graffiti coating on it, yes. You know, I think we've been, I mean, except I guess recently there's been some examples, but I think for the most part, a lot of what we've installed through this program has been left alone. On some of our community signs, we've had, I don't know if we have the word, the letters that spell out Inglewood on top of them. On a few of those have been stolen on the shorter ones. So that's a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, this would have some sort of coating so that, you know, it would get regular maintenance by the Parks Department also if something like that were to happen. Okay, other questions? All right, I'll have, like I said, more updates next month.
All right, thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Cool. Anything else for staff's choice?
I have a question since I'm new.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long the ribbons have kind of been the theme. So I was curious about that, and then what the representation is, if there's an interpretation. If people are curious to look up the meaning of the ribbons, where they came from, the history, the origin, stuff like that.
I'm not sure whether.
Yeah, I can give you a little bit of an explanation for that. So, yes, you bet. So on our website, we've posted the wayfinding and placemaking master plan. There was a master planning process during the pandemic. That concept is from a theme called Wooded Nook, and that was chosen by City Council. There was, I think, we had 800 surveys returned from the public on which one they preferred. I think the other one was called Love Inglewood. Those ribbons are, again, there's going to be a better explanation in the master plan itself, but really representation of celebration and everything that makes Inglewood unique.
Like party.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
thought they were grass or
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because they were also inspired by, and I always forget the name of it, so I apologize. The grassy sculpture at Yale and Broadway. So those shapes inspired that design. There's a lot in the if you check out the complete theme in the plan, you'll see that a lot of it was inspired by things that you see every day in the city.
I gotta memorize like where all the streets are. That's how you guys talk about stuff.
It's alphabetical, right?
North of Hampton it is,
Yeah.
and then it gets a little.
I know the 4 blocks around me are alphabetical, but those.
I mean, the grass is the grand entrance to Inglewood, according to my son. That is the,
Yeah.
yeah, the,
Right.
like
Yale and Broadway?
every time he's like, we're in Inglewood, Mom.
I do remember voting for that.
Yeah, and doing the survey.
Well, now you know when you're coming from the west.
Yeah, now I can see there's grass everywhere.
And Martin, I can present the visioning survey if we want, or we can wait until.
Let's wait until.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I thought I had the agenda.
All right, we'll go on to Commissioner's Choice. Commissioners have things to share.
Oh, that's all of us commissioners.
Yeah,
Sounds
just
like.
reminder that the second Saturdays are happening. Erica, thank you for representing us at Blue Tile for the meet and greet. I think they're excited to host us, it sounds like, so that's cool. And if you have a chance, get out and go visit those places. Yeah.
Cool. All right, then we'll adjourn at 6:35.